Johnny Depp sinks his teeth into another gangster movie. But is it as good as Donnie Brasco? Black Mass stars Johnny Depp, Joel Edgerton, and is directed by Scott Cooper. So Black Mass is about one of the most famous criminals in American history, Whitey Bulger. And I thought this movie might start from when he was younger, because the guy was actually in Alcatraz, but no, it actually picks up after Alcatraz in the mid-70s. It's kind of like another chapter in his life. Joel Edgerton plays John Connolly, and he was a childhood friend of Whitey Bulger. And you know, that whole Boston family relationship, their word is their bond, and honor is just such a huge part of the way they live their lives. Often when you are involved in criminal activities, that can get you into trouble eventually. And like I was saying, Joel Edgerton plays John Connolly. He is an FBI agent, and he enlists Whitey Bulger to be an informant and to help them catch other criminals from a different side of town, because there's been a feud between the Irish and the Italians. And so Whitey Bulger thinks, hey, this actually just helps me out because it gets rid of my enemies, and I don't really have to do much of the work. But we all know things don't really work out as planned, and Whitey Bulger gets himself in a shitload of trouble. Guys, first off, I am a huge gangster movie fan. The gangster genre is probably one of my favorite genres, because where else can you get such interesting characters, and most of these stories are based on true events. Movies like Scarface and Goodfellas, The Departed, Casino, all just top-notch films with some of the best acting you'll ever see on screen. Goodfellas is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. It's easily in my top 5. So for me, this movie had really big shoes to fill. And having said that, I did enjoy Black Mass. It had some really powerful moments, some great moments. First off, Johnny Depp is really awesome in this role. He owns the character of Whitey Bulger. It doesn't even look like Johnny Depp. He completely transforms himself into this character. That's one thing that Johnny Depp is so good at. He creates so many interesting characters, not just interesting in the way they act, but interesting in the way that they look. I mean, I could probably easily name off at least a dozen characters that Johnny Depp just pulls off flawlessly. And because so, Whitey Bulger is easily the most interesting part of the story, as he should be. There are a few moments in this movie where he is flat out just intimidating. One of my favorite scenes in the movie actually is, and it's not a scary moment or threatening moment or anything, it's just when he is sitting at the breakfast table with his little son, and he's telling him about how to handle himself because his son is picked on by a bully, and he gives him probably not the best parenting advice, but you can't help but respect it. And that really sets up his character right away, that hey, you be a man, you stand up for yourself, you don't take any shit from nobody. What guy can't relate to that? But quickly in the movie, you realize he is not a good guy. I mean, he will kill you in a heartbeat for just looking at him wrong. There was one scene that kind of reminded me of the scene with Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, where he's like, what about me is so funny? There's a scene at a dinner table with Whitey Bulger and one of the FBI agents, and he is really just kind of testing him, and then it gets silent and it gets awkward, and it's just awesome. Also, I like period pieces in this film. The cinematography is just really beautiful. It takes you right back into the 70s and the 80s, and you feel like you're there. And also, this is a huge ensemble acting piece. There are so many great actors in this movie, and they all get their time to shine. Actually, Peter Sarsgaard was probably one of my favorite characters in this movie besides Whitey Bulger. He plays the part of a frantic, drugged-out criminal with ease, and it kind of reminded me of Viggo Mortensen in Carlito's Way. And most people don't even realize that Viggo Mortensen was in Carlito's Way. He's only in the movie for just a few minutes, but he really just owns that role. Now, as far as any cons for this movie, I think if Scorsese would have gotten a hold of this, I think it would have been better, because he is just a master director of gangster films. Goodfellas, Casino, Departed. He knows how to take a long movie and keep you interested in it the whole way through. His movies are just so perfectly edited. Scott Cooper is a very good director, but this movie just kind of felt like a chronological order type movie. There are moments I thought that were kind of boring. But overall, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the movie. It is a decent gangster movie. There are definitely worse gangster movies out there. I would give this a high Humdrum. I can't quite get it to purchase worthy, but I did have a good time, and every scene with Johnny Depp is just amazing. He is a scene stealer and a half. So guys, what I want to know from you is, what are some of your favorite gangster movies? And what did you think of Black Mass? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and Humdrum out.